Hello beautiful people, welcome back to our better version. I just finished reading a book that challenged a lot of what I thought I knew about savings and investing. And I could not close the book without making this video. And the book is called Just Keep Buying by Nick Maggiulli. I hope I'm pronouncing it right, but I'll refer to him as Nick in the video. So this is the book. I really enjoyed this book. Firstly, because I'm a big believer in buying income-generating assets, and that is something that the book talks about, but also because this book did something rare, which is using real, actual data. And it uses that data to destroy some of the myths that we hear about savings or around savings and investing. So I'll take you through a quick review of this book. And the first part of this review is, what is the book all about? Just like the title says, just keep buying. And this is not a reckless instruction. Nick's central argument in the book is that one of the most powerful financial behaviors that you can adopt is buying income-generating assets. And not only that, you are buying those income-generating assets consistently, automatically, regardless of market conditions, and for as long as you possibly can. And the book is split in two parts. You have the part on savings and you have the part on investing. And when it comes to those two parts, he actually attacks both of them with the same weapon, which is real data. So this book is not about opinion, it's not about motivation, but it gives you the data. You have something tangible that you can use to see how Nick argues or how he is actually making his arguments in the book. And the second part about this review, I'll go through some of the key ideas that stood out for me in the book. And there are three key ideas that stood out for me. And the first idea that stood out for me in the book is to stop obsessing over savings and focus on earning more. And this is actually a big one for some of us who are on our wealth building journey. And here, Nick makes a clear distinction. If you are early in your financial journey and you earn low income, cutting costs will only get you so far. There is a flaw as to how much you can cut costs. And there is no ceiling when it comes to how much you earn. So the focus here is to move from just cutting costs to you increasing your income. I know that many of us grew up being told, go to university, get a good education, get a job. And then once you get a job, you are being told, save, save, save. And that is very good. Saving is important. It's an integral part of our personal finances. However, saving can only get you so far. Let's say, for instance, you earn 15,000 a month. When you save 500 a month from that 15,000, it's a good thing, but it won't change your life. But if you focus on increasing your income with 5,000, where you will now no longer be earning 15, you are now earning 20,000, that difference of 5,000 will make a huge difference in your life. It can make a change. And the key takeaway for me from this point is that if you are a low income earner, your focus should be on increasing your earnings. And you can do this in different ways. Skills, change careers, side income or side business or whatever it is that you're able to do, but the focus for low income earners is for you to earn more money. And for those who are earning more, the key takeaway here is that they need to focus on increasing their savings rate. It doesn't help you earning so much money, but you are not able to save as much. You are only saving very little, or maybe you are not saving at all. So the focus for high income earners here is for you to actually increase your savings rate, while for low income earners, it's for you to increase your earnings. And the second idea that stood out for me in this book is that investing beats saving cash. One of the most powerful chapters in this book challenges the idea that you need to build up large amounts of cash before you start investing. When you look at the data that Nick shares in the book, you can see that in most historical scenarios, investing a lump sum immediately always outperforms hoarding cash. So the people who wait and hoard cash are actually outperformed by those who invest a lump sum immediately. And that is because of how compound interest works. The more time you have in the market on that lump sum that you have, the better you are able to perform compared to somebody who actually waits. So if you are somebody who is holding cash right now, you are sitting on a large reserve of cash, this chapter is definitely for you. And the key takeaway for me here is that, firstly, if you are sitting with idle money at the moment, money that is beyond what should be in your emergency fund and money that is beyond what should be in your short-term sinking fund, that money should be in the market. So if you are sitting on idle money at the moment, beyond your emergency fund, beyond your short-term sinking fund, that money should go into the market. So move that money into buying income generating assets. Don't hoard money. You are losing money by just keeping it idle. You want to put it in income generating assets where the money actually has potential to grow and bring you more money. Idea number 3 that actually stood out for me in the book is that the investor that you are becoming matters more than the investor that you are right now. And this is the idea that I kept thinking about, because Nick is arguing that your best performing years in the market are still ahead of you. Your best compounding years are still ahead of you. A lot of people carry financial anxiety when it comes to investing. They feel like they are late, and because of that, they actually never do anything. They don't move the money from savings into investments. They just hoard cash and they start feeling like, no, I'm already late, so I'm not gonna do anything. But that is not what the book is arguing. So basically, the book is saying your most productive investing years are still ahead of you. So the idea of you being in your 30s or in your 40s and you want to give up and you are saying you are late, you are not late. You are right on time. Just start the habit now and never stop. Start now, keep going, never stop. You are going to see the results with time. And that is why they talk about time in the market being the most important thing instead of you focusing on timing the market. It's not about when do you get in. It's about how long do you stay in. Get in, keep going, stay in. That is the most important part when it comes to investing. So when it comes to this idea, the key takeaway here is you need to start the habit and stay consistent with your habit. And only when you do that, when you keep buying, that is when you are able to build wealth. You have to start with what you have, start where you are, and stay in the market. Keep that habit. Remain consistent with that habit. So that is the key takeaway here. Not for you to feel anxious that maybe you are late or whatever it is. You are not late. You are right on time. Yes, it would have been better for you to start in your early 20s, but most of us did not start in our early 20s. We started where we started, and that is fine. Get into the habit. Stay in the habit, just keep buying. So when it comes to my overall assessment of the book, here are some of the things that I truly loved. Firstly, this book gives you a lot of data. It gives you a lot of evidence without it being dry. It's not dry. And secondly, Nick writes this book as if he's writing it for a smart friend. It's very clear. It's very direct. There is no fluff. And like I said earlier at the beginning of the video, this is a book that gives you a lot of real data, a lot of evidence for you to see what he is arguing in the book. Another thing that I loved about the book is that he acknowledges that a lot of the data used in the book is actually coming from the US markets, and they might not fit every market out there in the world. And that is very important. It's important for us to understand context. Yes, there are principles there that we can implement or that we can follow. However, the actual numbers need local context. So whatever that you are picking up from the book, you need to apply it to your local context, your local market, your local situation. Unless you are really a global investor or an investor who is having holdings in the US, then obviously that becomes very much applicable. But if you are just invested in other markets that are not necessarily US, then you need to look at what are the principles that are being indicated or that are being provided in the book and how do I apply this to my local context? And that is a very important thing to indicate, so that people don't just absorb things even if the things are not making sense for them, but to understand that yes, savings and investments work the same way anywhere in the world. However, the information or the data that I'm sharing is on performance of US markets. And the other thing for me is that as somebody who is building wealth, this book was a good reminder of why we are saving and why we are investing, and also a good reminder that there is a place for saving in your financial journey and there's a place for investing. Don't go overboard when it comes to saving. Don't become so obsessed with saving that you are now holding money that is supposed to be in income generating assets making you more money. Then you are defeating the purpose. So only save what is meant to be saved. It's your emergency fund, it's your short-term goals. But any medium to long term, you need to look at other vehicles where you can put that money so that that money has the best potential to grow and bring you more money. And with that said, every page that I read of this book, it was worth it. And I would definitely recommend it to you to have a look. If you haven't read it already, I highly recommend you read this book, because it really does something on how you view savings and how you view investments. We can never learn enough. Even if you feel you know so much about savings and you know so much about investments, there is always a room to learn. There is always a room for us to improve in our finances. We are not gurus, we are not experts. We are students of life. We are students of finances. And it's important for us to keep looking at things from a different perspective, getting other people's perspective, so that we keep refining our money systems, we keep refining how we are doing things, so that we are able to get to our financial freedom numbers faster. And that is my review for the book, Just Keep Buying. And if you take nothing else from this video, at least take this. Don't wait for the best opportunity to invest. Don't wait for a bigger salary. You don't wait for more money. Don't wait for a market crash. Don't wait for perfect conditions, because they don't exist. Just start small, build the habit, remain consistent with your habit, and just keep buying. Never stop buying. Just keep buying until you get so rich, because even the rich of the rich are always buying income generating assets. So as the book says, just keep buying. And if you are not already part of our community of now 4,000 subscribers, I still remember when I had only 37, and now we are at more than 4,000 subscribers. If you are not already part of our community, do subscribe. I post at least one video a week, and I want us to learn and build wealth together. So I'll see you in the next video.